Stephen A., has LeBron ever looked better?
I don't think he has. You can point to individual spectacular performances in a specific game, but over the course of a postseason, shooting better than 50% from the field every single game, scoring plus 30 the last 6 or 7 straight games. I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers right here: 33, 35, 39, 35, 35, 38. Those are the last 6 games alone, and all better than 50% from the field. And then I'm looking at the three-point shooting over the course of those games: 40%, 66%, 50%, 41% the other day, and then obviously he was just 1 of 6 last night. But the manner in which he's playing around, toying with guys, he seems to know what everyone wants to do before they even know. He seems to know what everybody's job description is, and he's just levels above everybody. We're not just talking about his talent, because that's a given. I'm talking about just the cerebral part of it, which Max can appreciate. When you have high intellect, you have a high basketball IQ, and you just seem to be smarter than everybody on every single play. It's just amazing to watch, and it harkens me back to what I saw near the end of the regular season when I had to go and cover Cleveland visiting Boston when they were battling for that #1 overall seed, and Cleveland went into Boston and just beat them down. Avery Bradley, at that time, we were in the post-game locker room, and he told me there were literally 10 consecutive plays where LeBron James called the same play every time. He said because we could not figure out how to defend it. And he knew it. No matter who we put out there personnel-wise, we couldn't defend it. And he kept calling one specific play time and time again. He seems to know what everybody else is supposed to be doing even before they do. And that's what gives him an advantage head and shoulders above. And that's what I think that Brad Stevens was alluding to last night. It's just his mind game. The mind games that he's playing with these guys are just as significant, Max, as his overall physical abilities.
Yeah, and by the way, as a player ages, he needs to increase that kind of mind game in order to compensate for declining physical ability, though it's not obvious with LeBron, who's also excellent defensively last night. But no, this is not the best he's played. You can say it's as well as he's played, but I wouldn't even say that. Look, yes, LeBron is not only smarter than everybody else on the court, he's bigger, stronger, and faster. But look at what Harden was able to do with the Rockets this year. Why were they able to have so much success until he choked in the playoffs? Maybe tired, as he was bragging about playing every game and LeBron was wisely resting. Well, because in the modern NBA, if you have a primary ball handler who can get to the paint and shoot, and he has a high basketball IQ and can find guys around him, and those guys are shooters, that's the way you construct the modern team, it seems. And if you have offensive rebounders on the team, so you're getting those extra possessions, that's pretty tough to beat offensively. And that's what LeBron has, and that's the reason it looks to some as though he's playing even better than ever before. You look at the shooters he's surrounded with on this team. Kyrie can shoot. I mean, obviously, and they share ball handling responsibilities. Kevin Love can shoot. A little bit like the old Woody Allen line, swatting a fly with a Buick, to have Kevin Love just as a stretch 4 because he can do more, including offensive rebounding, including outlet passing and all that stuff, but he can certainly shoot. Channing Frye can shoot. J.R. Smith can shoot. When you see LeBron playing with the second unit and he's got nothing but shooters, Kyle Korver can obviously shoot. All around him, if Harden looks like an MVP with shooters around him, what do you think LeBron's going to look like? But when you look at his past, Stephen A., it's not to take anything away from the way he's playing right now. But there were moments last night where Isaiah Thomas was switched on to LeBron James. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Meantime, in the past, he has, in the finals, without those shooters, without Kevin Love, without Kyrie Irving, taken a seemingly invincible Warriors team 6 tough games, extended that series by himself. I always bring it up. The second best player on the floor was Matthew Dellavedova. And then everyone was saying, yeah, but what happens if LeBron has his whole crew? And he got his whole crew the next year, which was last year. And that time he was going up against a 73-win Warriors team and actually came from behind to beat them. And when you look at the averages he put up, if you want to just go to the numbers at that point, I just gave you the context, which I think was higher stakes against a tougher team. But if you want to just go to the numbers, look at his averages from those 2 series. They were Jordan-esque. It was ridiculous. And I'm talking about Jordan in the first 3 titles when he was putting up the rebounds and the assists too. It really was ridiculous. And then you consider, Stephen A., the individual matchups. In the past, LeBron James has had to go up against Kawhi Leonard. I like Jay Crowder a lot. He's not Kawhi Leonard defensively. You know, that's why Kawhi got the Finals MVP, because he was the guy playing LeBron. Same thing with the Warriors when Iguodala got the MVP, because he was playing LeBron. There's no Kawhi, there's no Iguodala on him right now, and yet he's also not putting up better numbers than he did in some of those series. So all due respect to LeBron James, who occupies the same niche in the sport that Michael Jordan once did. In other words, he's so much better than the next best guy, it's not worth talking about. He wins the championship or contends for one every single year, but this is not the best version of him yet. It's just that when you're watching this, it's hard to imagine that there was something better.